My allotment was nothing more than a tapestry of weeds just a couple of months ago. And here's how I've managed to turn it into a no-dig garden. The space had been neglected for years and the soil surface was essentially one big trip hazard, with chunks missing and random mounds among it. So I started by removing the ensemble of bin bags left behind and took to the ground with my fork and rake, removing large weeds, breaking up the surface and levelling the ground as much as possible. I then used this monstrous roll of recycled cardboard that Jeffrey Bezos gladly supplied for the price of 30 English pounds, which would form the base layer of the beds and paths. I'm adding cardboard in the hope of it depleting any existing weeds underneath and for it to give me a nice flat surface to add materials to. Laying it was trickier than it looked. Once it was all rolled out, we added about 4 to 6 inches of compost on top to create the beds. I say we, as I got the rents involved, who do like to get on rather quickly, and in the chaos managed to create 2 extra beds from the original plan. While this is a large quantity of compost, I will only need a thin layer adding to it year on year. Now in between the beds, we used a soft wood chip to create the pathways, which will over time break down into the soil and need topping up. The soil and wood chip are essentially acting like a mulch that will give the soil underneath the time it needs to rebuild its structure. And after a whole day of graft, the beds are now ready to be planted into. But I'm not going to be popping much in it just yet. Mostly because I've got to work out what to do with these extra beds first.